So Ironside. Older viewers are going to remember it, but
Yeah.
I've heard you say it's a reimagining. It's kind of like the Batman, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton. It's not the same thing. You're taking your own
Nice.
take on this character. But how much Raymond Burr goes into your portrayal of the role?
Good question. Not much at all. I mean, it's
So no.
no. I think that's a trap that you can get into. I mean, the reason I don't use the word remake is because it was made already, and brilliantly so. I mean, people have such a fondness for that. I was saying earlier, people, when I hear it all the time when they mention Ironside, the next thing out of their mouth so often is, "I loved Ironside." So it was done so well before. This is, as you said, it's a reboot. It is a reimagining. It's a new, updated, contemporary version of this brand and franchise that was imagined in the '60s. A story about a detective named Robert T. Ironside, who is brilliant at what he does, who happens to be in a wheelchair. And that's really the foundational core of what we started from, and just reimagined it from there.
Where did you find the character? Where did you get inspiration from?
It always starts from the page. And when I read the script, because, me too, when I first heard the idea of me doing Ironside, I started with what I knew, which was Raymond Burr. Didn't quite understand how we were going to pull that off, but when I saw that it's, not only contemporary, but he's very kind of in your face. He's he's got a lot of attitude. He plays by his own rules, to be sure. He's a womanizer at this stage in his life, which was new and unique.
From a wheelchair?
He breaks. Oh yeah. He breaks a lot of the rules. But it's funny. It's funny you say that. 'Cause I said that to a friend of mine the other day. Because my mentor in this whole project is a guy named David Bryant, who is he's an engineer, he's an athlete, and he's a paraplegic for 34 years. So he's really taught me a lot about that lifestyle. And I said that to a friend. He said, "Well, you said he's a paraplegic. How can he be an athlete?" And there's so much, I think, to be learned from that. Because, I mean, this is a man who has done 40 marathons in his wheelchair as a disabled man. So there's so much that disabled people can do and do nowadays that a lot of us who are able-bodied aren't even aware of now. So I'm excited about that aspect, to be able to show that in this show, including making love.
Your mom's been in a wheelchair too for about 10 years. So did she teach you how to maneuver a little more and like tricks of the trade kind of thing?
Not so much that. She has an electric chair, and Ironside, just like my mentor, David Bryant, has no handles on the back of his chair. And I asked him, why don't you? He said, "Why would I want anybody to help me? If I can do it for myself, I want to do it for myself." He's very independent. You know what inspired me also? This show, Push Girls. I don't know if you've seen that yet. It's beautiful. All of them are beautiful, and they all happen to be disabled, but they're so independent. And I draw inspiration from that and learn from the reality that's around us nowadays.
When you've played cops before, do you take the research you did into those roles into a role like this, or do you start fresh because it's a new character?
No, you definitely build on kind of what you've learned before, and you're right, having played cops before, there's certain things that definitely come in handy, just the logistical things of how to hold a gun, how to carry a gun, how to enter a room, all of that. That said, you still always, we have our technical advisors on the set that always kind of help us keep it real.
Wednesdays at 10.
Wednesdays at 10 this fall. It's Ironside. It's Ironside 2.0. I just threw that in there. But he's a cop. He's a detective, and he does it his way, which is great. And because of this new version of himself, this disability, he thinks in a different way. So the way he deciphers cases is new and different. And I have to say too, we have a lot of flashbacks. So we see him before the accident and after. So that's something very different from the original version of Ironside.
Cool, man. I gotta let you go.
All right, man. Man with the green shoes.
Appreciate it. I do what I can.